Hey guys, welcome back to Plus Size Guide to Theme Park Rides. Today we'll be specifically talking about Disneyland Paris, Magic Kingdom Park. So when you get to Disneyland Paris, the first ride that you're going to come across is the Disneyland Railroad. That one is absolutely fine. You go into carriages on the train. It's a bench seat that runs right the way down. There's usually about 10 or 12 people in each carriage. You get plenty of room. It's not a problem at all for bottom, top or legs.
I'd say it's probably more likely to be something like about 8 to 10 people.
Well, I suppose it depends on what size of people. If it's my size, it's 8. So going into the park and going to the left, the first thing you're going to come to then would be our favourite ride, Phantom Manor. If you're not familiar with the Phantom Manor and Haunted Mansion style rides, all these rides are in a doom buggy, which is a sort of clamshell shaped seat. That was a hard one to say. And it's like a bench that you sit on. They're designed for probably 2 adults, maybe 2 adults and a child. There's a bar that comes down, it's a lap bar that comes across the two.
Yeah.
We sit beside each other, no bother at all. There's no issues with leg room, plenty of leg room.
And we can even put our bags down at our feet with still plenty of space.
Yeah, that one is not a problem whatsoever for our size. Next one going on that way would be the steamboat.
There's no problem because it's not cars, it's just a big boat, and you can there's a few seats that you can maybe get seated on if you're quick. Otherwise, it's standing room only.
Yeah, so that's fine. The next ride is another really big favourite of ours, which is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
And we both fit on that together, side by side.
Yep, it's a bench seat. So 2 people can sit side by side. It's a lap bar that comes over the 2 of you.
Yeah.
Only goes down as far as it needs to go. Leg room isn't really, it's not a problem for me. How's the leg room for you?
It's not too bad. It can be a little bit cramped, but it's not too bad because of my height.
Yeah. So Big Thunder Mountain's absolutely fine. Moving on, another coaster is Indiana Jones ride.
That can be a little bit cramped.
Yeah, it can. This one's got an over-the-head restraint, so it's got the bar that comes down over your shoulders. What it does is it pushes down as far as it goes. It doesn't clip to a seatbelt or anything. It doesn't clip to your waist. It's just the head restraint. And size-wise, not a problem. It goes down, it clicks. But leg room's an issue on Indiana Jones, isn't it?
Yes, it is definitely a leg room problem. I can get on it, but it's a little bit uncomfortable because of my height. Yeah.
Be careful how you put your feet as well, because one time we went on it, I accidentally crossed my ankles thinking that would be really helpful. That was not helpful at all. It was quite uncomfortable. So now I make sure that my feet are both flat on the floor. But the floor's not a straight floor, it's like got a little bumpy bit, so put your feet in the divot of the bumpy bit and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
We've done it maybe 2 or 3 times in succession. I think that's probably the limit as to how many times you could do that before you just got too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So the next ride that you would come to is Pirates.
If you keep to the left-hand side and follow the left-hand side up.
Yeah. Would be Pirates of the Caribbean. Again, this one's bench seats. You could probably get about four people.
Yeah, it's a boat.
Yeah, it's a big boat. There's no restraints. There's no lap straps. There's no backs on the chair though. So you have, is there?
Well, yeah. There's bags, but they're not high bags.
Yeah, they're quite low backs. So you don't have any restraints at all. You just have to sit on it. It's great fun, but it's not a thrill ride. Legroom is fine. You have to be able to climb down into the boat and then climb back out of it the other side, but it does stop for you to climb in and out of.
Yeah.
The next ride that we would come to on our route round would be Peter Pan.
Yeah.
This is another boat-shaped ride, although it's not on water. It doesn't. Yeah, it has a lap bar.
Yeah, it's a car, but it's shaped like a boat.
Yeah, and it's 2 rows. There's a row in front and a row behind. We can fit easily side by side on either row, but the back row always has a bit more space.
Yeah.
And a bit more leg room. So if leg room's an issue, the back row is going to be better for you than the front row on most of the rides that we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On a similar sort of style of ride would be Snow White and Pinocchio, and those are very similar ride cars to Peter Pan. Again, we can easily sit side by side on them.
And they're all in the very similar area.
Yeah. Again, more legroom, slightly more width in the back row than the front row, but we can manage the front row, can't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Pinocchio is a bit tighter on the front row, so definitely go for the back in Pinocchio if you're tall.
Yeah, definitely.
Dumbo, the flying elephants, they're so much fun. We usually have one each, don't we? I don't think
I can't remember.
I don't think we've ever gone in the same elephant together. I don't think there's a reason for it other than just in our heads that it would be better if we were in separate ones.
Yeah.
So, for me on my own, it's not a problem, and for David on his own, it's not a problem.
No.
Maybe together there would be an issue, so, judge it for yourself, see what you think when you're about to get in the elephant. So there's the Prince Charming Carousel as well in that area, and that's a standard carousel. There's horses. I think there's a couple of carriages that you can sit in.
I can't remember. It's been a little while since we've been there.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain there's carriages as well if you don't want to climb up onto the horse, and it wasn't a problem. In fact, I remember sitting in one of those carriages with my dad. Recently, not when I was like 5. Right, from there you've got the Mad Hatter's Teacups. I don't think there's a problem with that.
Yeah.
The legroom is a bit
cramped.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to have more than maybe 2 or 3 people our kind of size in a teacup together.
For the legroom only.
Yeah, only for the legroom. And if you're not as tall as us, then it's probably not an issue.
Yeah.
You just have to arrange your knees appropriately and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
As long as you're with somebody you're quite happy your knees banging together, then you'll be jamming.
Yeah.
Once you come out of there, you go to the little bit at the back where the Storybook boats are.
And Casey Jr.
Yeah, and the Storybook boats, again, it's a boat ride similar to Pirates. Bench seating, probably could get 4 people in a row. There's no restraints.
It's possibly similar sized boats to Pirates.
Yeah, and you're not going to have a problem with that one. As again, you have to be able to climb down into the boat. This time it moves while you're climbing in, but if you were going with somebody with a disability, they do stop it so that you can get in and out. Get
them in easier, yeah.
And you don't, there's a separate disability access gate, so you don't have to climb over the little bridge to get into it.
Yeah. Casey Jr.
Yes.
Casey Jr. is really aimed at the children.
Definitely.
You do get adults on it, but for people our size, it can be a bit cramped.
Yeah. We went in it together and sat side by side, so it is doable. It's definitely doable.
Yeah.
It's just hold your breath doable. Probably more so with a legroom than the width, because I seem to remember my knees touching my chin.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not one for tall people. Maybe if we'd had a seat each, we'd have got on better, but there's always a really long queue for that one, so we went on it. We could do it. You'll be fine if you want to do it.
From there you've got It's a Small World.
We love it. It's a Small World.
It's a Small World is another boat ride.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's the same, similar sized boats to Pirates of the Caribbean and the what was the name of the other one?
Storybook boats.
Storybook boats.
Mm-hmm. Not a problem. You could get 4 or 5, maybe even 6 people widthways. Not 6 of me, but 6.
Comfortably, you get 3 or 4 widthways.
Yeah. Again, no restraints. You just have to climb down into the boat.
And again, if you're with somebody with a disability, they will hold on to let you get in and out.
Yeah.
And they are for people in wheelchairs. I think they do actually have special boats as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So It's a Small World.
keep going in a left direction, the first one we're going to come to is Star Tours, which is just an overlay, and it was really good last year. Star Tours is like a 3D cinema that kind of moves and is a bit of a simulator. So it's rows and rows of seats like in the cinema where there's armrests on the seats.
It's a 3D ride now, is it not?
That's what I said, is it not?
I don't know, I can't remember.
Well, so you get 3D glasses.
Yeah, you're basically sat in what's meant to be a space shuttle with, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 rows of seats. And it's like sitting in a cinema.
Yeah.
And you get given 3D glasses.
And width-wise, it's not a problem for me, even at my biggest, which, if I didn't already, I'll put another picture here so you can see how big I've been at my biggest and still fit in the cinema seats. In Star Tours.
Yeah.
There are restraints on this one, but it's a seatbelt like in a car, like the middle one in a back seat. It's just a lap belt that comes out. And my only advice for this one, when you're going to fasten your seatbelt, if size is a problem, and if you're watching this clearly, then you're worried about that, grab the seatbelt before you sit down and yank it to its full extension, then sit down and pull it over you and buckle it in.
Yeah. One thing,
or get your significant Mickey Mouse person to do it.
One thing I will say about this ride is that it has got the tendency of making a few people feel a bit green.
Significant Mickey Mouse, other person.
If you do suffer a little bit from motion sickness, it can sometimes be a little bit of a problem.
Although I don't think it's as bad now as it was before.
No.
Since the new overlay. Okay, coming out of Star Tours, obviously it's the big one, which is Space Mountain. Now, it's now Hyperspace Mountain. The last time we were there, they were renovating it.
And it wasn't open.
And it wasn't open. And I know it's got new chairs. I haven't heard great things about it, so I'm a bit concerned. But I'm going to give it a go and hope for the best. After Hyperspace Mountain is one of our other favourite rides, Buzz Lightyear. Again, these are little moving cars that go round and the front of the car opens to get in and then it kind of closes over. It's not a restraint, it doesn't come too close to you, there's leg room, there's nothing holding you in, and you just sit in it and go in a flat circuit.
It's a laser shooter.
Yeah.
You get a little, 2 guns in each carriage, and you've got to shoot targets on things as you go by them in the car.
But from a tall person or a wide person perspective, you're not going to have a problem on it. And we can comfortably fit in it together. We've got room on the chair between us for a bag. I think if you were really concerned, you could have a whole car to yourself and it wouldn't be an issue. So the next one is Autopia, which is like a little car ride where you're in little race cars. We do this one in separate cars, mainly for the legroom, but also because competitiveness, we want to beat each other. Orbitron. That one is, again...
like Dumbo theory.
Separate cars, but it's quite a challenge to get in and out of, because you have to sort of sit yourself down. It's like getting in the bath, and I need a hand to get back up, but that's more... I think that would be the same regardless of size. We wouldn't go in the same one, don't go in the same one. You'd be sitting one in front of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just sensible. That's not even a plus size issue, that's just a sensible thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've covered all the rides in Disneyland Paris. That was a very quick run through.
In Magic Kingdom Park.
We're going to do a
Disneyland
separate
Paris.
video completely for the Walt Disney Studio Park in Paris. Well, I really hope that's been helpful for people who are thinking about or have already booked to go to Disneyland Paris. So jealous, by the way. Can't wait to get back there. If there's any other parts that you haven't seen us do or that you would like to see us do, leave a comment down below. And have a really good time in Disneyland Paris. We hope you enjoy yourself.
Yep. And see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.